I'm convinced my wife can't taste cheese, and she refuses to accept it. I'm convinced my wife can't taste cheese, and she refuses to accept it. So I, 26M, have come to realize after being married to my wife, 23F, for a few years, that she cannot taste cheese and she refuses to accept it. I noticed it offhand at first. I would make a dish. I am the primary cook in our household. That was primarily cheese, and she would say it had no flavor, so I would season it up more and she would be okay. But then I started noticing if anything relied on the taste of cheese, she would say it had no taste. Mind you, she claims to love anything cheese, but I'm starting to think she likes the other flavors with it. Last year I tried to make authentic Alfredo, like you always see people make on the internet. No cream, just butter, garlic, real fresh grated parm and ECT. After making it I thought it tasted really good, but she said it just tasted like butter noodles. I then gave her a bite of just the Parmesan cheese, and she then said it didn't have much flavor. From then on I have accepted she cannot taste cheese. She loves Caesar salads, always wants parm on it, but I'm starting to think she just likes the texture, because she doesn't seem to be able to taste it on the salad. If we buy blocks of cheese, from like the cheese section at our local market, she says she can taste those. But they have to be strong, and again seasoned with other flavors. If I just give her cheddar cheese, she claims it has little to no flavor. I have brought this up to her on multiple occasions, and it has become a running joke between us, but she still doesn't think it's her taste. I even asked 2 of my siblings if they could taste cheese in a dish I made, and they said they could, yet my wife told us she could not. It really isn't that big of a deal. It's just funny that she still claims to love cheese, and she always wants cheese on everything, but I don't think she can taste it. I am always heavy on seasonings and such anyway, so it don't bother me, but when it's cheese and crackers and she can't taste it, not much I can do, lol. Also should mention, I think it could have been COVID that did this to her. Because stuff she used to like, she doesn't think has flavor now. Just wanted to say this somewhere, lol. You need to do a blind taste test. Line up mozzarella, cheddar, parm, and something that's not cheese and see if she can tell the difference. For science, you need to run a blind taste test immediately. 3 cheeses and 1 non-cheese. Report back with results. There is no universal cheese taste. All cheese taste bouquets are combinations of other flavors. It's impossible for her to not being able to taste any of them. Parm is salty. If she can't taste that, she can't taste any other salt. Lied about my age. Now I'm facing the repercussions. About 4 years ago, 2022, I was freshly 17 years old, and I joined a server kind of on a whim, not expecting anything to come from it. I had just gotten out of a relationship, and I was just browsing the internet. I felt the need to lie about my age, because everyone in there was much older than me to my knowledge. So I said I was 18 when I wasn't. I make lots of friends in there. I talk to lots of people. At some point I completely forgot I had lied. I went around flirting with a couple people I had liked, not taking any of it seriously. But what do you know, I genuinely end up falling for someone in there online. All of a sudden I remembered exactly what I was lying about, and guilt was eating away at me, because he was 20. Despite that, we had so much chemistry in my eyes back then. So I was hoping when I came clean, he would somehow be okay with it, and things would be all peaches and cream. Eventually I admit to him that I was 17. He knows this, and we started going out when I turned 18 a few months later. Obsessed with this guy is an understatement. I was stuck on him for a long while. We broke up because I just didn't appreciate how I was treated, but he hadn't told the rest of our friends my secret. I decided to a couple days ago, and everyone had turned against me completely, and I haven't tried defending myself in the slightest. To me it was just a year, but that's really something I shouldn't have fabricated, especially since getting involved with others. I doubt I can talk to those people again, and I feel horrible about it, but I can't really expect anything else. Bruh, I remember being like 10 years old LARPing as a grown-ass adult on this forum called the Anarchist Cookbook, back in the day, lol. Lying about your age was a rite of passage to my generation. I remember being 14 and lying to grown-ass men in IMVU about my age, telling them I was 22, loudly crying face. Tinder nightmare. Met a girl on Tinder, let's call her B. We talked. I took her out to eat ramen. B didn't tell me she had herpes till we got back to my place, no big deal cause we hadn't kissed or anything, or messed around, so I figured I'd just treat her nice, get her ice cream, in disposable dishes, and watch TV for the rest of the night. Walked her to her car, and that was that. 2 weeks later, she says she doesn't want to talk to me anymore. Understandable, I was being super dry because I don't want to date someone with herpes. But then like a week later I get screenshots from multiple people, including a co-worker, showing that she posted my pictures and city I live in on some anonymous Facebook members only page. And in the post she was trying to see if there were any red flags on me. Well, turns out another woman I had previously been with, let's call her M, saw the post and both M and B started trash talking me in the comments. And now M is blowing up my phone calling all types of insane names and essentially telling me to go get checked out immediately for herpes. I wanted to humanize B and not kick B out of my apartment immediately after admitting her condition, and I feel like I'm getting punked. The admin that runs the members only anonymous page does not accept messages. I don't know what to do and need advice or words of wisdom if possible. Honestly, I'd ignore it. Who cares? It's not like the entire world is going to find out, and no women will ever date you again. Block them both and forget about it. You know that something like 70% of all people have oral herpes, right? Damn, that is a nightmare. I would block both of them on Facebook and block their numbers, block them on everything. Just eliminate the problem. I got caught crossdressing, and I don't know what to do now. I, 22M, still live at home and thought I had the house to myself for the day. Crossdressing is something that I've struggled with honestly since I can remember. I carry a lot of shame with it because to the outside world I'm this bros bro type of guy, but in my free time I completely dress as a woman. I hadn't done it in a while, so I figured I would try it out again. To my surprise, my family came home much earlier than I thought. And there were my parents, staring at me wearing a wig, dress, and heels. My mom literally yelled out of fear, and my dad didn't really say much. I was so nervous and embarrassed that I ran upstairs and quickly took everything off. I waited until they were in the kitchen, and I ran to my car and I left. I haven't been home since. I don't know how to have this conversation. I don't want to have this conversation. I'm ashamed, embarrassed, and terrified. To them, I have always been their all-American boy. And now I have to explain this when I don't even fully understand it myself. Edit. I do have 2 older sisters and have considered reaching out to them for advice, but then that means having to tell them all of this, which again I don't know if I have the strength to do. Be honest with them. Remember what Dr. Seuss said. Those who matter don't mind. Those who mind don't matter. Trying out a Halloween costume and then just found it comfortable. Freaked out cause you figured it looked weird. You know, you could try the angle of, I'm sorry for what you saw, how about we agree to never speak of this and pretend it never happened. Ignorance is bliss sometimes.